Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Today's video Friday, and so I'm happy to be here today, and I'm going to make with you I call it a curvy belly band card. And I cannot take credit for the way that this card came together because I watched a demonstrator, I think her name's Linda Bedinger, and I loved her idea on how to make the curvy die work on a card. I had been struggling with how to make that work, and it just seemed like I was using 12 by 12 paper, and then it still didn't really come together the way I wanted. So when I watched her video, I was like, oh, brilliant. So I love that we can share stuff. So let's get started. I am going to use a stamp set and die that is a bundle in the spring mini catalog, which is going to be leaving us at the end of the month. And I love this bundle. As I've told you before, it's called Open Range and Ride the Range. And unfortunately, it's not carried over into the big catalog. I have several stamp sets that I'm going to try to keep using throughout the month because they aren't going to be carried over. So it's on page 60. Let's see, what page is it? It's on page 68 of the mini catalog. And so it's so darn cute. And I'm also going to be using well-suited designer series paper, which is, again, none of the designer series paper is going to be carried over. So from that mini, so use it up. Okay, so let's get started today, and I'm going to show you this cool way to make this curvy card work. Okay, I am going to be using the curvy dies, so if you have these, get them out. They are carried over, but we need to start using them, right? I think I see a lot of Christmas card potential there too. So let's get started. Okay, so you are going to need a full sheet of cardstock, and I'm going to use Pacific Point cardstock. So what you need to do is you need to take and you need to cut it in half. So you'll have 5.5 by 8.5, and that'll be your base of your card. But then the other pieces of the cardstock you're going to use also. So this is 5.5 by 4.25. You're going to need that. And then this one you're going to cut down just a smidge. So this is 5.5 by 4 1/8. So you're just going to cut a small sliver off of the corner edge of this one. But you are going to use a full sheet. You're also going to need a white piece cut, and this is 5 by 3 3/4. So this is for the inside of my card. And then I'm going to make a belly band, and I'm going to use designer series paper for that, and that is 1.5 inches wide, and I think I used 9 inches. You could use a little longer, at least 9 inches long, but 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches, whatever you prefer for the belly band. Okay, so let's get started. The start of this card, before I start, I want to mention, don't forget, if you use this hostess code, okay, the 2CVP64NA, by June the 12th, place a $30 order, you will be entered in the drawing to win the artistically inked stamp set. This stamp set is on back order. You can't even purchase it right now. This is a red rubber set, and it's 12 stamps. Awesome stamp set, and it has a coordinating set of dies that obviously that coordinate with it. But this stamp set, you'll be entered for a drawing. I'm going to do the drawing on June the 13th. So please consider placing your order online at my website and use this hostess code if you want to be entered in that drawing. Somebody's going to win that stamp set. That's a $24 stamp set. Okay, so let it be you. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 ink pads today. I'm going to use Memento Black, and I'm going to use Pacific Point. I'm also going to use some blends today to color in the image. So I'm going to use my Cut and Emboss, which is right here by my side. So let's get started. So what you want to do with your half a sheet is score it at 2 1/8. All right, so you're going to score this at 2 1/8, and then you're going to fold it, nice crisp fold, okay? And then we're going to bring this side up to meet that. Okay, so right now we've done this kind of a card before, but this is an interesting way to make a curvy card. I love her idea. So now you have this folded, okay? Now what you want to do is you want to take your piece that is 5.5 by 4.25. Okay, so that's this piece. And what we want to do is, oh, we're not going to do that yet. Hold on. So we're going to flip this over. And I'm going to use a piece of that Well-Suited Designer Series paper. And this looks masculine to me, and I think it goes really well with the Ride the Range set. So this side is awesome, but this side really sparks my attention. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to hold that on here like this. And then I'm going to take I know this looks crazy, I'm going to cut through the back, okay? And so what I want to do is I want to use my Curvy die. Now you could use any of these Curvy dies, this one, but I'm going to use this one because it's simpler, okay? And I'm going to bring my cut and emboss up here. Okay, and what I want to do now is I want to turn it this way. And this is a cool thing about the cut and emboss. The old Big Shot was so narrow that you could barely get your dies in there. I mean, they would be like moving as you were, you know, cranking it through. But this one is just a little bit wider, and I love that because you don't have to worry so much about your dies, you know, getting caught on the sides. So just thought I'd mention that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to center this Designer Series paper right in the center, okay? And then I'm going to put this piece just right in here, kind of like that, okay? Oops, do I have it? Oh, hello, Trevis. Got to put it on the bottom. Put it on the cutting plate. And I always keep one of my plates on the bottom. So if you've had problems with your plates warping, it's because you are not keeping one plate on top. Look at mine. They're not warped at all. I keep one plate on the bottom, and I keep one plate for the top, and I use the bottom one always to cut on. Okay. Did that move? Might have moved just a smidge. Hang on. Don't want that to move. I want it to be centered. There we go. I think we got it now. So I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to run it through. And then I'm going to run it back through because it is cutting through the cardstock and the Designer Series paper. So I do want to make sure that it's cutting through both. All right. Now, I'm done with it for now. I'm going to use it one more time in a little bit. Okay. So what you have now is, I know it looks crazy, but this is going to work. Trust me. I'm going to take your pick tool, and I'm just going to get rid of these little dots. Okay, because this is what really makes this card cute, are these little dots. And I don't have my brush, so I'm just going to use this. Which takes a little time, but that's okay. So, do you have any fun plans for the weekend? Summer is here, right? And here in St. Louis, things are opening up. Love that. We are happy that less masks, more fun, more seeing our friends. Yay, finally. Our state is pretty good. I wouldn't say we're a Florida or a Texas, but Missouri is pretty open. So, okay. So I have all of those. I'm going to get rid of these little doodads. All right. And now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and adhere these to my cardstock. So what I want to do is just put some adhesive on the back. I am going to go with the curve a little bit here. And as you can see, since this was 5 1/4 by 4, it's going to be staggered, and you're going to get to see those little dots. Okay, those little holes. Yay! Let's see if I think I see another one of these that needs to come out. Those just want to stay in there. What is going on, folks? Okay, I think I got it now. All right. Okay, and then this one is going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put my adhesive on here. Do the curve. All right. Ooh, sticky, sticky, super sticky, which is good. You don't want your card to fall apart, so that's all great. Okay, so now we have that. Okay, so now you're saying, okay, Trevis, I just still don't get what you're going to do. All right, now we're going to take this piece, now that I have that cut. So I'm going to take the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere it to the back of this. Okay. Wow, that's almost coming over the side. That's okay. I think that'll work. Is this the right piece? No, I'm starting to worry. Yep, it's the right piece. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this flap. Now you can probably tell what's going to happen here shortly. Yep, it's going to work. Okay, so we're going to do this. See? Ha-ha. Now, if you have any weird cut, which I don't know what I was doing, but I apparently didn't cut this great, I'm going to trim that off so that it's straight. Yay! The other thing, I might just trim this off too, make this perfectly straight. Okay. Yay. Okay, I like it. I think I'm going to make the card go this way. Okay. Before I decorate the outside of the card, I want to cover up this seam down the center. And so that's why I had you cut this piece 4 1/8, because it needs to be just a tiny bit smaller. I'm going to put a lot of adhesive in here so that the card will close. Okay. So I'm just going to center this a little bit, just like that. There. Now, it is a perfectly clean card, nice and heavy also. Okay, so our card, that part of our card is finished. Now, I'm going to put that aside, and now I'm going to do some stamping. So I'm going to use the Ride the Range stamp set. I'm going to use 3 stamps from here. I'm going to use Happy Birthday, Life is a Journey, Enjoy the Ride, and of course, I'm going to use the horse with the cowboy. So I'm going to take a pre-cut Tasteful Labels. I just pre-cut this on white, basic white cardstock from Tasteful Labels. All right. And I'm going to stamp Life is a Journey, Enjoy the Ride in Pacific Point. Just going to stamp that right in the center. Okay. And then I am going to also stamp the white sheet. So this is 5 by 3 3/4, and I'm just going to stamp the Happy Birthday in, I don't know why I closed that, in Pacific Point. Okay, so now I can close this. So I'm finished with that, and I'm just going to use Memento Black now. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a second, because that is really juicy. And now I'm going to put this on the inside of my card. Let's see which side I'm going to use. I think I'm going to do it this way. Okay, so I'm just going to center that on the inside of my card. Okay, and now I'm going to adhere this up here in the corner. All right. Then I'm going to make my belly band. And this was the piece that I cut 1.5 inches, and it's by 9. Okay. So what I want to do now is I just want to wrap this around. I don't want it too tight because the belly band has to come off and on, right? But I'm going to put a little adhesive right there. And I'm going to glue that together. Okay, so there's my belly band. So that's going to slide off and on the card. All right. I did cut out a horseshoe out of this same designer series paper. I cut the horseshoe out of the dies. I love this little horseshoe. So I'm going to use that on the front of the card also. And now I am going to stamp my favorite stamp in the set, which is the little cowboy on the horse. Oops. Oh, it's pretty good, but not perfect. Okay, you guys probably think I'm a cowgirl. I am not. I would say I am probably the least, one of the least outdoor people you'll probably ever meet. However, my dad, as I've told you before, my dad was a cowboy. He rode in the rodeo. He tried to get me to ride horses, but I kind of wasn't into it. So he didn't push me, but I kind of wish he had now. He did teach riding lessons. Okay, so now we're going to use our blends and we're going to color in the little cowboy. So the first thing I'm going to do is color in his blue jeans. And I'm going to use the light, which stamp is this? This is the light Night of Navy. So I'm going to color in his blue jeans. All right. And then I'm going to use the poppy because this color, they tell you the colors, right? So this color is poppy. So I'm going to use Poppy Parade to color in his shirt. Because cowboys sometimes wear like bright colored shirts, right? And then I'm going to color in the saddle, what do they call this? Like the saddle rug? Saddle, well, I don't know what they call it. But anyway, told you I'm not a cowgirl. And then I'm going to use this color, which is bronze. I'm going to color in his cowboy hat in bronze. I'm also going to color in the horse's reins, the reins to the horse. I'm going to color in the horse. This blend is almost dry. I need to get a new one out. I'm going to use the other tip. Sometimes you can kind of tell when they're getting dry because the tip gets real light. That's time to get out a new blend. And so this color is light crumb cake. So, you know, you can't buy just one blend now. You have to buy them in a set. All good. And I'm going to use the dark crumb cake to color in his saddle. And his boot. And then I'm going to use the dark old olive just to color in the grass. Okay, got them all done. All right, now I'm going to use the die to cut him out. And it's this one. I'm going to bring the cut and emboss back up. Not the Big Shot, Trevis. It's the cut and emboss. Center that. Just one pass through because I'm just cutting through a piece of white. Okay. I mean, what is not to like about that little guy? He's so cute. I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back. How about, ooh, took off too many. 3. And now I'm going to adhere my horseshoe. And I always heard, I don't know if this is correct, I always heard that you should have the horseshoe going up for good luck. Let's see, maybe I'll do it this way. Pointing up for good luck. I don't know, is that true? We're going to make it pointing up because we want good luck, right? I'm going to put our little guy on here. Isn't he so cute? Okay, and then I think it needs just one little embellishment. And so I'm going to use the silver metallic pearls. Hardly ever use the silver. I usually use the gold. So I'm happy that I'm going to be using some silver. Now I just love this little card. And I think what makes it, not only do I just love, love, love this stamp set and dies, I think what makes it is this curve. And, you know, you could make this as feminine or as masculine as you want. Okay, so this will slide off. And inside is your happy birthday. If you wanted to, you could decorate in there a little more, but I don't think I need to. Slide this back on. It's so cute. Okay, hope you enjoyed this technique and this fold and also the card. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.